Good morning, guys. If you're watching the video, you will notice that I'm wearing the exact same shirt as I was last week. I used to when I first started doing these tea times, and somehow it's going on 2 years since I've been doing this, which is kind of shocking to me still that it's been that long already. It doesn't seem like that long. But I used to be so meticulous about these. I would make sure that my outfit was different every week, and I would make sure that there was nothing weird going on with my hair. I used to re-record sometimes if I wasn't happy with the way that, like I did this weird thing with my hand, because it used to just be video only, so I knew everybody was watching the video. Now I know that many of you are just listening to the audio, so it doesn't really matter. And I guess I've just gotten more comfortable with you because I saw the shirt and I was thinking, I don't care. I don't mind. Whatever. It's a cute shirt, right? So I'm not going to lose any sleep over looking like I don't have that extensive of a wardrobe. So that's that. And I'm in pretty decent spirits, all things considered, which is that it is snowing here right now in Western New York, and it is early April, and that's not totally unheard of, but you're really not wanting snow at this time of year. It's just real slushy. It's going to all melt real soon, but it's just kind of a downer. And given the fact that my week has been crazy busy, and it is for somebody that has a personality like mine, in which I'm really a perfectionist and kind of type A, and definitely can meander towards the anxious side of the scale. I don't like to be super busy such that I feel like I'm forgetting things and it's hard for me to keep track of things because I just have so much on my mind trying to get through everything. And it's not my favorite kind of a schedule. I knew that going into the week that this is what it was going to be like, and so I just take it one day at a time, and come the weekend, I can relax. And next week is Holy Week, and I'm really looking forward to that. So we're just persevering right now, and I don't really have a theme other than what I've already mentioned, which is just dealing with busyness and what's been going on in my week and the approach of Holy Week and what our plans are for Holy Week. So that's what we got, as is totally unsurprising given what I just described to you. I don't have a lot of time, so we won't have as long of a tea time as we did last week when I was talking about my little librarian identity crisis, and it was so cathartic for me to talk about that. And it really helped. I'm definitely still feeling better this week, so in that regard, so that's all good. All right, so the week and leading into Holy Week. So I just went into the week. Work has been super busy, but not in a bad way, really. We had a couple of little fires to put out on Monday, dealing with some technical glitches with the quiz that we administered, and so rushy, trying to fix that on Monday morning before it affected more students. And we had like some big drama. I wrote about that. I'll link to that post on, I think I wrote about it on Wednesday. My schedule is all off this week because I didn't have time to write on Tuesday like usual. But anyway, we had some drama on Monday in one of our classes, and with just the sheer numbers that we deal with, I think that's going to happen. Just statistically speaking, we navigated that pretty well. And I was just dead tired when I got home on Monday, and I did happily have an evening at home that night, but I was just wanting to have a glass of wine and mindlessly knit. I finished up a pair of Christmas socks. It's April. This is not an uncommon occurrence. These things take time. If you ever need a hand knit for yourself or one of your kids, you need like 6 to 9 months of notice, and that's really being, I think, pretty optimistic. So I finished up Henry's Christmas socks because I was starting a knit along on Tuesday, the Expression Fiber Arts knit along. I can link to that too, as long as I remember. And it's a pair of socks that have arrows on them. They're pretty fun. I cast on for those this week after I finished the Christmas socks, so I've been enjoying that. But Tuesday, I had this super, super busy day, even though I wasn't at work, in which I met up with a friend of mine that I met at the Catholic New Media Conference in June of 2015. She was in town for a college visit with her daughter, and it was so nice to see them. And I miss that group of friends, those people that I met at the Catholic New Media Conference. So this is what I call my SQPN group of friends from that network. That was the people that gathered at that particular conference in Atlanta that year. I miss them all so much. We all keep in touch very frequently on social media. And that is such a wonderful blessing that I feel like I still keep in touch with them and that we're still a part of each other's lives in that way. But there is not anything that can beat in person talking, having a drink and a meal together, and enjoying each other's company. I miss them so much, and I don't know if there's going to be another Catholic New Media Conference. I'm not sure, or maybe it'll be something a little bit different in the future. I'm hoping that there's going to be some opportunity for an in-person meetup with the larger group at some point here. But in the meantime, I'm just pining for all of your company. And so it was wonderful to see Jennifer. And I haven't seen her in almost 2 years. So we got together and, talked about old times and what was going on in our lives right now. I really enjoyed that. So that was great. So I saw her early on Tuesday. I had the day off from work so that I could do that since it was a special occasion. And that evening, I had some things to take care of at home. That evening, I was slated to go see Swan Lake with my mother-in-law. We do that every year. First week of April, there's a Russian ballet that comes to town. And there's, for someone who loves dance as much as I do, there are so many classic ballets that I've never seen. So now we've gone 3 years in a row. We saw The Sleeping Beauty, we saw Giselle last year, and this year we saw Swan Lake. I had never seen any of those before. So it was lovely. It was a little bit more uplifting than Giselle. So it was beautifully done. Really had a good time. We went out to dinner and had an adventure because the first restaurant we went to was closed on Tuesdays. So we had to make alternative plans and it was fun. We had a good time together searching for a new spot, and I inspired her to try sushi. She gets real adventurous when we're eating together, which I like. And so we enjoyed some sushi together, had a wonderful time. But as you can imagine, when I got home at 10 o'clock that night, you could have just knocked me over with a feather. I was exhausted. Wednesday, I had a really difficult time getting out of bed. But here I was, ready to teach. Another busy day, and I had an evening at home that night, which was nice. But I've got to dance our Hafla, our spring Hafla, so our spring summer recital, if you will, is this weekend. And so in the evenings, I have been trying to get my costumes ready and practice. We're doing a lot of numbers in this particular show. We have a large repertoire now. And I worry about being able to remember everything because there's so many now. I'm very good at remembering dance choreography. I'm not very good at remembering anything else. But, it's just priorities, I guess. The dances I usually remember pretty well, but now we have a lot. I think we're doing 5 or 6 numbers in the troupe, and then I'm in an additional choreography for the Sunday class that I took during the winter, which is smashing. It's a really beautiful dance. It's very intricate. So there's a lot to remember, and I'm going to be doing a solo, which I did not choreograph because I knew that I would not be. We're at capacity in the brain. There's just no more room. So I'm improvising, and I just want to be very familiar with the music. Dancing to I finally settled on a beautiful ballady piece, so a very traditional piece of instrumental Middle Eastern music. That is a progression, so starting out with what they call a taksim, a very slow, beautiful entrance, and then it gradually picks up tempo as the song moves on. So, more of an emotional type of a beginning, and you want to get, I guess, you always want to get movements and costuming correct with the type of dance that you're doing. You also want to get, in terms of performing, you want your facial expressions to really match the music. And so balladies are more emotional pieces of music, and then they build to a very fun, upbeat type of an ending. And so I've just been working on that, and I'm nervous because my in-laws are coming and they've never seen me dance before. So when you care about something, you always want your best foot forward. And so I just really want to do the best job I can, and I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it. Obviously, Mike is going to be there. He's going to be the MC again. He's so cute. And the kids are going to be there. So I'm hoping that it all goes well. So lots of dancing coming up, and I've been trying to squeeze in rehearsing the choreographies and also just practicing my improvisation with my solo song, and it's been occupying all of my free time. So I did a lot of that on Wednesday, and yesterday I had another busy day at work. I did more squeezing in of dancing where I could. I had, for a couple of months, this has been scheduled for a couple of months, I had a dinner planned with some of my college friends, and I didn't want to miss out on that because it's hard for us all to find mutually available time. So I went and it was wonderful. But again, I'm tired. It's been so busy. So here I am now. I've got to go teach in about a half an hour. And I've got a ton of stuff to do this afternoon. Crazy, crazy. So I've been trying to focus more on getting my rosary in every day. I haven't finished it every day, but I have prayed as much of it as I can, and that has been really helping. I just love grabbing that rosary in the morning in the car, and it feels good to have that in my hand and to be dedicating that time, and it helps me for the rest of the day. So I've been doing that, and thinking about Holy Week. I'm hoping to pray the Liturgy of the Hours for Holy Week. I have the little St. Joseph's guide, and it's helped me out with where I need to go in the book. I also have the app, so I'll decide which I'm going to use. And we'll see how that goes. But I'd like to start Palm Sunday and then do that all the way through Easter and just have next week be a quieter week, really focused on those things. I'm planning to go to all of the Triduum liturgies. I look forward to that all year. I love them. So the Mass of the Lord's Supper on Thursday evening, I think it's at 7 at my parish. On Good Friday, they always have a 3 p.m. Good Friday service. And I have to teach in the morning, unfortunately, next Friday. I was hoping to be off, but I won't be able to that day. So, but I only teach until 12. So I'll be able to be home and go to that. And Saturday, I'm going to attend the Easter Vigil, my favorite Mass of the entire year. And then Sunday morning, we're going to go to Easter morning Mass as a family. I have everybody over for dinner, and I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my plan. I'm feeling good. We had the chapter this week in our book club. Again, link if I remember, but it's just back yesterday, actually. I posted that. Chapter 11 of Live Today Well. We were talking about prayer, and I've just been thinking it's not that I need to be more formal. I think different things work for different people, but I need to be more intentional about my prayer time, and I'm going to really start to focus on that, like I have with the rosary a little bit more. I just want that time to be more set aside, more quiet, more contemplative. I liked what the chapter said about the imagination part of prayer, imagining yourself in a scenario, say a biblical scenario, and so that it feels more real to you that, Christ was in that situation and working in that situation. And even though we don't see him in the same way in our lives today, he's still working in the same way in our lives now. So I'm going to be working on that next week for sure. Very excited about Palm Sunday, heralding Holy Week at our parish. Father Joe has the kids do a procession with him into the church, and so my kids are excited about that, and so I'm really looking forward to that. I was hoping that Henry was going to volunteer as an altar server for some of the Triduum liturgies, but he wasn't quite ready. He's been really enjoying the altar serving, but he told me that he was a little nervous still because he doesn't have it all memorized yet. And he had kind of a scare, if you will, on Christmas Day. He had signed up. So for Holy Days and other special liturgies, it's not part of the regular altar serving schedule. You volunteer sign up for those on your own if you'd like to participate in those. And he did that for Christmas Day, and that was right after he had started. He had just started in late November. And he and 2 other altar servers signed up, but when we dropped him off, when we put him in the back, we were all out in the pews waiting for Mass to begin. It became apparent that Henry was the only altar server that had actually showed, and he was really nervous about that because he didn't feel like he knew what he was doing. And Father Joe allayed is wonderful. Don't worry, I'll get you through it. And then they spotted an experienced altar server out just attending Mass. And so Father Joe asked if she would pitch hit, and she did. And so obviously that helped out because then she could lead and Henry could follow suit. But that made him anxious about signing up again for the volunteer slots because now he's really paranoid that he might be the only one if the other people don't show. So, and especially for the Holy Week liturgies, they're much different than your average Sunday Mass. And so he was like, I'm worried, Mom, that what if the other people don't come and I don't know what to do? So I didn't pressure him or anything like that. I wouldn't normally anyway, but I understand how he feels. So next year, I think I'll feel more comfortable to do that. And I totally get that. We are really enjoying having Henry as an altar server in our parish. I think he's doing a nice job. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Of my two kids, Henry reminds me the most of myself for sure. And he's anxious and he wants to do a good job and does not want to stick out, that if he doesn't know what he's doing, he doesn't want everybody to know that and look at him or anything. So I totally get it, and I can tell that it's just going to take a little time to build his confidence. So we're getting there. So he won't be serving at Holy Thursday or any of those liturgies, but I'm hoping to convince the kids to attend some of them with me. So we'll see. I do leave that up to them, but I do encourage them to come. We all go on Easter morning. Obviously, that's not negotiable, but for the other liturgies, I encourage them to come. Henry came to Holy Thursday with me last year, and Anne came to Good Friday, so we'll see how it goes this year, but I'm really, really excited about it. And during those liturgies, more than any other time, I really feel my community so close to me when I'm at those liturgies, because I don't know, that the Triduum just really instills that sense of the extraordinary and how we're all united in our faith together. So I will have you all with me when I'm attending all of these next week, and I'm really excited. So let me know how your week has gone and what you're planning for Holy Week. I'd love to hear about it. I've got to go get ready for class. So we will continue our tea next week. I'll probably be posting on Holy Thursday. I'm going to try to do tea time and post it on Holy Thursday, so we'll see how that goes. But until then, I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon. Bye.